Hi guys, for this week I will be talking about tools for financial analysis, and first up we of course have the identification, and this is by Topper from 2019, and it simply states that financial statements are prepared to have complete information regarding assets, liabilities, equity, reserves, expenses, and profit and loss of an enterprise, and to analyze and interpret the financial statements. Commonly used tools are comparative statements, common size statements, and etc. Next, we have explanation, and that is for investors and creditors to analyze financial statements to make investment and lending decisions. And in doing so, they need to analyze 3 to 5 years of data to accurately determine the financial performance of a business, so that way they know if they're making the correct decision or not. And the analysis includes looking at the performance of the business from year to year, comparison with competitors, and the industry as well. For entry level, I simply have a cash register simply because getting out of college, finding a job, you typically have a beginner job, and that is whether you are in a clothing line and you are putting in charges and charging people for their purchase, such as like a jacket. So that is why I put a cash register there. And then for mid-level, we have inventory, and mid-level would be management position or some other line of position that would be appropriately put into the mid-level category. And they therefore look at inventory and make sure that everything is lined up correctly. And that way all the finances are correct and show up for the 3 to 5 years like I mentioned previously, to make sure that the year-to-year basis and the comparison with the competitors as well as the industry is all correct. And then the executive level, I put financial statements, and then also I put strategic planning process. And the financial statements and the strategic planning process kind of go together, because in order to have a plan for a business specifically, you have to know your finances. You can't blindly go into a planning process without knowing finances and knowing how much you have to spend on what you're planning. A good example of this was I had a family member who was prepared to go out on her own. She planned for everything, where she was going to live, the furniture, the food, everything like that. But she unfortunately did not plan out her finances and make sure everything was financially stable for her to be able to do that, and therefore it just kind of collapsed. So it just kind of backs up my saying that in order for you to have a plan and to move on with the plan and the planning process, you have to make sure that your finances are stable and have a good foundation. Lastly, we have the ethical issue, and that for this specific topic is the asset misappropriation. And this term includes using organizational funds for things other than the organization. For example, if we used a healthcare industry, a hospital nurse could be using hospital supplies to take home to care for a loved one instead of buying them herself. And as ethical as it may seem to us, it is damaging to the financial reporting side of the organization, and therefore could lead to a lot of issues later on down the road. And then for references, I have Topper from 2019, the tools of financial analysis, and then the website is listed as well. And then for my second one, I have Terrence Sims, and unfortunately the date was not there. And then it is the 5 ethical concerns in financial reporting and analysis. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time.